With the Olympics going on in Paris right now, I think there's a real opportunity for countries to take advantage of something that they just don't seem to be doing right now, and yet it seems so obvious. Because obviously when you have athletes compete, if you don't know who they are, really you don't care. Maybe they wear your country's colors, cool, but it doesn't really matter to you fundamentally. But when you see athletes like LeBron James, going from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland to LA, we've seen Simone Biles competing and dropping out during Tokyo and competing again and winning gold. You care about these people because there's a whole narrative behind them. You've seen them win, lose, you've seen them train, you've seen them go from the bottom and rise back up again, and that gives you a reason to care and gives you a reason to root for them. So why doesn't it seem like countries are helping sort of create these narratives? They're like, you've never heard of these athletes before, poof, here, now they are competing. Except some of them who have figured it out are giving you a reason to care. A lot of them are showing these glimpses into their training, into their life, into their experiences that you just can't get through the traditional press. When they've done their race and they're going down the aisles doing same question after same question after same question, cool, you don't really get much of an insight because they've just come out of the pool, they've just come out of a run, they've got a lack of oxygen, they can't really speak right now, and now you're expecting them to give an in-depth interview, like, good luck. But when you put a phone in their hand and they can film these TikToks or short videos or Instagram stories and whatever it may be, all of a sudden you get this insight that no matter what the traditional press tries to do, you're never going to do that because they're not going to let a reporter into their Olympic Village bedroom, but they're going to be filming these videos with their friends being like, here's how the room looks like, here's what our uniforms look like, here's us having fun, here's our training, here's what the gym looks like, here's how intimidating is being around all these other massively competitive athletes. And this is a real part here that I think countries need to capitalize on and give these people support and funding, because by the time Olympics does roll around, you're like, I know this person, I've been following them for 6 months and I'm getting all this, you feel like you're a friend with them, capitalizing on that parasocial relationship you can't get through a generic TV interview. They're really showing a glimpse into a world that we've never had access to before. And I guess it's the difference between describing their experience and actually showing their experience. Out of this, you're getting whole cultures and memes, like just look at the Muffin Man. Or you're able to capture really heartfelt moments. Additionally, the side benefit to this isn't just that us as the audience cares. It's that these athletes are then able to earn a full-time income off the back of this. So many of them have to get second, third jobs just to pay their way while they're training to become these elite athletes, because not every country is China that pays out $1 million if you win gold, and then again, only one person can win gold. So if you're able to earn money off this brand that you've built, then all of a sudden you're able to work full-time, you're able to become better, more chance of winning, hence more entertaining, and all of these different layers together just provide so much benefit that once again seems to be forgotten. Not everyone is the US men's basketball team who are on $60 million a year and can afford to rent out a luxury hotel outside of the village. Some are literally just working class people who just happen to be really talented at what they do, but can't fundamentally even afford to be there. Because if you look back to Jesse Owens in 1936 Berlin Olympics, 5 times world record holder for things like the 100, 200, long jump, 4x100. If you're just to change the surface that Jesse Owens ran on, he would be 1 pace behind Usain Bolt. 1. And yet, he didn't have the means to train full-time. He had to have other jobs. He, didn't have the same nutrition and training knowledge and intel and logistics that we have today. And yet, he would be 1 pace behind Usain Bolt. 1, just based on the ground. So just imagine if he could have spent full-time working on his craft, how much longer his records would have held up than they already did. This also means that you can follow along and root with sports that you didn't particularly care about before. I've never cared about high diving, yet there's a ton of high divers that have appeared on my feed over the past 6-12 months, and now I'm like, oh, that seems like a cool sport. So you can bring attention to things that, are typically outside of the usual soccer, basketball type sports. And on the lines of earning money, even when you do retire from the sport, you're a Niall Wilson type, or you're Olivia Dunn competing in college. You still have the possibility to earn money off your craft, and even if it's not doing the craft, it may then be commentating and brand deals and just mentorship and other aspects that can follow through, and that you aren't just screwed once your body can no longer stand up to the test. I think there needs to be much more support behind these athletes in this regard to really help, for one, create a sustainable endeavor for these athletes, but also get the audience to actually care when they compete. Like a bunch of the sports that I go through, I'm like, cool, I don't really care about the sport, I don't know who these people are, I'm not going to watch. But when I see Jess Fox come up, when I see Patty Mills come up, when I see any of the Australian swimmers come up, you're like, I'm watching this because I've been given a reason to care.